15 is asking us to find the circumcenter. And before we go any further, we need to remember what the circumcenter is and how it's found. The circumcenter is found by finding the intersection of all the perpendicular bisectors. So intersection of perpendicular bisectors. Now you may wonder why I don't have graph paper on here. I'm just going to do a rough sketch because the fact of the matter is we're going to end up doing the algebra on it anyway, so we're not going to find it by graphing necessarily. So if we draw a coordinate plane here, this is our point 0, 0, this is our point 10, 0, and this is our point up here, this is our point 5, 4. Okay, so 5, 4. Let's connect these together here. And so now what we want is the circumcenter. Well, perpendicular bisector. The first one I'm going to find, I think, is pretty easy. Let me just draw that here. If we draw a perpendicular line, this line is horizontal, right? Okay, this line right here is horizontal. So the perpendicular bisector is going to be this vertical line right here that comes straight down. That vertical line, the name of that vertical line is x equals 5. Because obviously it's 5 from here to here if the entire distance is 10. So x equals 5 is certainly one of the perpendicular bisectors, which is actually very helpful because remember, we're not going to have to find all 3 of the perpendicular bisectors. As long as we find 2 of the perpendicular bisectors, the place where those 3, the location where the 3 of those lines intersect is the circumcenter. So technically, all we need to do is find the place where 2 of them intersect, name that point, and we'll be good. So we've already got one of our points, okay? We know that x is going to be the x coordinate of the intersection of that circumcenter is going to be 5. But we're going to have to find the perpendicular bisector of one of these. Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's see here, negative 5, 4. I'm going to say, let's use this line right here, okay? So I'm going to use this line right here and find the perpendicular bisector of it, okay? Well, first of all, midpoint, I need to find the midpoint. So that midpoint is going to be 2.5, 2, all right? You see that? 2.5, 2. Or we could say, technically we could say 5/2, 2. But that's all right, 2.5, 2. So now the other thing that we need to know is what is the slope of this line? Well, what's the rise over the run? Do you see that the rise is going to be up 5, no, whoops, it's up 4 over 5, okay? So the rise, it's 4/5, okay? So we know the equation of this line right here is y, let me make that green, is y equals 4/5 x, and it crosses the y-intercept here at this, so it's y equals 4/5 x plus 0. So y is equal to 4/5 x. So the perpendicular line is going to be the one that has a negative reciprocal of this slope, right? Okay, so what's the negative reciprocal of this slope? It's negative 5/4. So we have y equals negative 5/4 x plus b. So how do I find out what this equation is right here? Well, I already know that I have 2.5, 2. That's what I can use because I know that that's this point right here that I can use to solve for b. So let's do that. We've got our y value is going to be 2, so I'm just replacing this. I'm putting a 2 in here, and instead I've got the negative 5/4, and then my x value is going to be 5/2, because that's where my 2.5 comes from, plus b. Okay, so now I get, when I solve all of this, I get negative 25 over 8. Okay, so when I running out of room here, let me just write this above here. Negative 25 over 8 equals 2, and then I have plus b. So I'm going to bring my 25 over 8 here. So now I'm going to add 2 plus 25 over 8. 2 plus 25/8 equals 5 1/8. Okay, that's 5.125. So my B value is 5.125, which is my y-intercept. Now that kind of makes sense, actually. You can see that it's going to cross up there somewhere. So my new equation here is y is equal to negative 5/4 x minus, plus 5.125. All right? So this, the place where this intersects with this is going to be the circumcenter, okay? So I already know I have 5, right? So it's this equation and this equation, if I set them equal to each other, I can find out what my y value is. I already know my x value, okay? So that means I can bring this 5 right here, plug it in, plug it in right here, and I should be able to find the y value. Okay, so let me make that green again. So now I have y equals negative 5/4 times 5 plus 5.125. Now let me plug all of this into my calculator. Negative 5/4 times 5 plus 5.125 equals, okay, so I got y is equal to negative 1.125. Is that what you guys got? And actually, that kind of matches with my sketch. Shockingly enough, I have my sketch kind of going in the right place. So negative 1.125 is the circumcenter. Whoa, that was a pretty complicated problem, right? I hope you followed all of that. If it helps you to put it on graph paper to visualize it a little bit better, you can do that. That's fine.